It's about 11:30 at night on a Sunday. I've been playing World of Warcraft, and I got the munchies now. So, what better way to cure that than with some instant ramen? The other day, I went to a Japanese grocery store with my family and picked up a bunch of different packs of ramen. This one here, it comes in a yellow pack with Japanese writing, which I have no idea what that says. Yeah, next pack is very similar, except for it's pink. And then finally, this big boy, this big pack here. I think it has fresh noodles in it, but they all take about 2 minutes to cook, and they all come with 2 servings. So I'm not going to eat them all tonight, because that'd be a lot of sodium. So I just do this one first. Boom, there we go. A finished bowl of instant ramen. The noodles look really good, and the broth actually looks like tonkatsu broth. It smells really good as well. And I had some chashu that I made previously and froze, and some marinated egg. It does look a little blasé without the green onions, but I did put some, I think this is like just a normal yellow onion diced up in there, just to give it that onion flavor. And I'm going to start with a sip of the broth, because that's the right thing to do. And I can see that there is a little bit of fat floating around on top of it. Smells good. I mean, it tastes good, but it's just loaded with MSG. I can tell you that. I don't really taste any pork, but it does have kind of a good mouthfeel. Let's try the noodle. The noodle's not bad. I've tasted better. Overall, I'd give the broth and the noodle probably like a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. It's not horrible, but then again, I don't think I've ever eaten an instant ramen that I didn't like. For $5 though, at about $2 and some change per serving, I don't know if it's really worth it. I'd rather stick to mama noodle. When I watch YouTubers eating ramen, oftentimes they'll just eat like the whole piece of chashu in like one bite, and the egg. It's like, I guess it's a matter of personal preference. If you want to eat the whole chashu in one bite, go for it. But for me, it's bite, slurp, bite the egg, may take some soup. First pack down. So it is the next night, again, almost midnight, time for a midnight snack. But before I make this pack, just want to give a shout out to Brian McDuxton. He has the channel Ramen Adventures, and he was sort of the inspiration for me to go to Japan in the first place. Now, like, I've always been fascinated by Japanese culture, so it's been like a dream of mine to go to Japan. But like, I learned a lot about ramen from him, and I think you guys should order his book, because it has some really easy to follow recipes to make some really great tasting ramen. Some of the recipes actually have like shortcuts, like using ground chicken instead of bones, because it's easier to extract the flavor. You don't have to boil it as long. Also, like blending your soup to give it kind of like a different, like an airier texture. I actually made tonkatsu soup, and then I blended it, and it like looked like cappuccino. Yeah, it was really cool. Anyway, let's go make myself some ramen. And this one here is basically the same thing. You boil the water, you stick the noodles in, and then the seasoning pack. And there we go. Looking pretty good there. Now this bowl, I added some garlic oil that I had from when I made garlic fried rice video to follow. But just, you know, the oil is important. It gives it that you know, that nice texture, and also adds an extra level of flavor. That's what we're all about here. So we got our noodle and our soup. You can see the oil kind of shimmering up there. I also put some black pepper. This is black pepper that I got from the Kampot region of Cambodia. I pan roasted for just a little bit to release you know, some of the aroma and add a little bit of complexity, and then I ground it up in my mortar and pestle, and I just sprinkled a little bit on top, and then we got my toppings right there. Check it out. Boom, look at that. Look at that. Oh, very own chashu. This has been in the freezer, so it's probably not the freshest, but lots of green onions. Gotta have the green onions. Oh, first soup. I like this one. It's a little less like artificial tasting. Let's go for the noodles. It's been sitting there for a while, so it's probably kind of limp, but that's okay. Not bad. Thin noodle. Very slippery. I actually really like this noodle. That's a pretty darn good instant noodle. Now, most of these Japanese ramen packs, the noodles are not fried, so now chashu, I made this chashu out of pork neck, and I kind of like pork neck more than pork belly. I need like an overhead shot, like right down in the bowl. And then the green onions, like, I just love that like burst of onion flavor when you're slurping the noodle. Alright, there we go. That was the second pack. I'm not going to drink the whole. I'm not going to drink the soup. I'm just trying to reduce that sodium intake. I would give that one 8 out of 10. That's, you know, that's on the scale of instant ramen. You know, it's not like anywhere near, you know, ramen you can get an actual shop. So, but you know, that's not where we're comparing here. So, on to the next ramen. The restaurant style fresh by Hakubaku. This one's a little different in that you have a soup base which you add boiling water to, and then you boil the noodles separately. Let's read what's on the back here. It says harmony, balance, freshness, and flavor. Capture the experience of a Japanese ramen restaurant right at your home. Fresh and soft noodles, blah blah blah, no preservatives. Let's see what's inside of it. Ooh, look at that. Huh. They're kind of a soft textured noodle. Look at that. And then you got your sauce packets. Just go into my little green onion growing cup. There's a bunch of green onions in there soaking in water. I love green onions. Chashu. And that's the pork neck. Got a little discolored from being frozen, but you can see a soy tonkatsu base. It's pretty thick, you can see that. Yep, you can definitely smell the soy sauce. Stir it up. And then we'll boil our noodles. Soup looks pretty nice. Oh, that soup's pretty good. The pork flavor isn't very pronounced, but it's there. I'm gonna finish assembling this and then see you back downstairs in the studio. So up to 3, I can tell you so far that this probably has the best noodles. They aren't like a true fresh noodle. They're actually kind of pretty dried out but pliable. Cooked up in about 2 minutes, and yeah, it looks actually like a legit bowl of ramen. You know, if I had a couple more toppings, you know, maybe some bamboo and or wood or mushrooms. Actually, I do have bamboo. Maybe I'll go get some. Okay. It's got a good springiness to it. I really like the curly noodles. Just like curls in my noodles. I mean, the broth could be a little thicker, but you know, that's fine. Maybe just add a little less water next time. I'm gonna put a little of this black garlic oil in it. Just a tiny bit. Just to up the flavor a little bit. Black garlic oil in there. It looks, I don't know, just more visually appealing. Then we'll add some of this momoya menma, which is seasoned bamboo. Pieces for an extra kick of umami and a little crunch. We've got ourselves a pretty good breakfast. Yeah, it's breakfast time right now. That was a good slurp. This is the more expensive of the bunch. I think it was like $7 or $8 for this pack. Yeah, you know what? That's pretty legit for what it is, for being an instant ramen. Hakubaku. I think this is on a scale of ramen, instant ramen, 1 to 10. I have to say this is a solid 9. That's a pretty darn good pack of instant ramen. Nothing really beats eating a bowl of ramen at a ramen shop when it's like cold outside. Just, you know, just the ambiance, and it's a whole experience, you know. It's hard to replace that. But it is nice to be able to crack open your fridge at, you know, midnight after a hard gaming session, and, you know, making yourself a pack of ramen. There's definitely the convenience factor. And look at that egg. Bon appetit. That was a darn good ramen. I'm gonna look online and see if I can get that one. The other two, I can pass on them. Not really exceptional in either way, you know. As always, guys, thank you for following along, and I'm hoping to get some more videos or as much content as I can over the next couple weeks, because I know some of you guys are quarantined. I know some of you guys are in a lockdown. I know that some of you guys have a ton of vacation days coming up that you haven't used all year. So stay tuned and make sure you check back often. Alright, until the next one, guys. Peace.